primary mission for the 106 Rescue Wing is combat search and rescue. If there's any kind of emergency like natural disaster, a hurricane, a blizzard, that kind of thing, we will actually stand up a task force. We will coordinate all the military assistance as the National Guard to your local authorities. We had two rescue scenarios that we saw today. The first one was what we call a low and slow, where the helicopter comes in 5 to 10 feet and the pararescuemen actually jump out of the craft into the water. No parachute, no ropes, just jump into the water, fully in scuba equipment, and go then swim to either a distressed vessel that can't move on its own, or something where a survivor's in there and they need to get on. The second one is what we call a T-duck, which is where HH-60 comes in with a Zodiac boat that's deflated and rolled up. They lower it down on rappel ropes. Once it hits the water, your pararescuemen then rappel into the water, and two guys actually swim, kicking with their flippers and holding it in place. The third guy will take a compressed air bottle and actually start to inflate it. Once they inflate it, they have to de-water the engine. Then what they did was they got the survivor ready, packaged him up. They said he was safe to use a strap. So the helicopter came back in. You saw one of the pararescuemen actually climb up the rope ladder, which is a pretty tough maneuver. And then they lowered the strap on the hoist, strapped him up, and they hoisted him up. We were there for JFK. We were there for TWA Flight 800. We lost a helicopter and a pararescueman in a perfect storm. You know, we cover the whole Atlantic from here to Europe, and when you get out into the Atlantic, especially up north, up near the polar caps, that's cold water, where bare skin, you have about a 30-second susceptibility before your body starts to shut down. So in a dry suit like they're wearing today, where they're not actually getting water on them, they'll have several minutes. The scary part, we had the world record for the longest rescue, and one out of the crew of like 36 survived. You have to remember, we went into those waters, it was ice cold, 800 miles off of Nova Scotia, and there were sharks in the water, and they could see the sharks when they went in, but they knew there was one living person in. So when you're going in to save a life, you'll do what it needs to. So the cold doesn't really catch up to you until after the fact.